All right, we're in the beautiful town of Valkenswaard, southeast of Eindhoven, as well as Amsterdam, just north of the Belgian border. Beautiful small town that lends itself to some amazing rallycross action. I mean, Jim Beaver along with Hal Ridge and Valkenswaard and the Euro circuit here, 55 years old, one of the oldest rallycross circuits in the world, Hal.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got such heritage in the rallycross world here in Valkenswaard. Rallyx returned last year for an international event here at the Euro circuit, and on Friday afternoon many of the cars and drivers headed downtown to meet with the fans. They were there all afternoon to drive some interest for the event and just give some of the locals an opportunity to get up close and personal with the cars. It's a town familiar with this amazing sport. The bars and restaurants will be packed this evening, I'm sure, as they will be tomorrow, because there's real fever here for rallycross.
You got a real fever for rallycross, and I love that last year and then this year it kind of coincides with King's Day here in the Netherlands. So you get a rallycross party followed by a party to celebrate the king.
Rallycross is more important, though. We know that rallycross is the most important thing.
Today, absolutely, I'm agreeing with you. Monday, there might be some people argue with you, but today, today and tomorrow, absolutely. Like we said, I mean, we've got the qualifications done. The stage has been set. We've got semifinals and finals yet to come. And if the morning was any indication of what's to come yet this afternoon here at the Euro circuit, it's got me as a rallycross fan really excited.
Qualifying's all about, yes, you get some action, but it's all about this crescendo to the semis and finals. And the semis and finals are really where the positions matter, because they're knockout races, the points count towards the championship, and ultimately even the local drivers who aren't doing the full series, they want to achieve on their home circuit, because what's better is dreaming as a child and being a racing driver is to doing well at home in front of your home crowd and family and friends. So that everyone here has something to fight for, and it's going to be wild.
Well, and you start talking about the local contingent. I mean, especially in open two-wheel drive. I think you and I talked, and there's a stat. I think we got 20-plus entries, and I think there's only 5 entries that aren't Dutch or Belgian entries, which to me is
and some of them are German, which is just over there.
Yeah. So it's very a local contingent. And I think there's always bragging rights, but when you're in front of your home fans, there's even extra bragging rights.
Sure, and it's your one opportunity in the year to do well, isn't it? So you want to probably deliver everything you can, and hopefully that makes for some frantic action this afternoon. And of course, all the regulars, the Scandinavian drivers that we're so familiar with, there's a load of new drivers from different countries as well. It's not just the locals, is it? There's a wide range of drivers from different places and different levels in their careers as well, so it's going to be a fascinating afternoon of action.
Well, and especially we start talking about open four-wheel drive and such a stacked division top to bottom. I mean, we've got Nicholas Grunholm, we've got a couple of Ericsson entries in the mix as well, and I mean some of the best in open four-wheel drive anywhere in the world, and they're here at Euro Circuit at Valkenswaard. We're going to get to that this afternoon. Right now, though, we're going to be talking CrossCar Jr. because we've got our first semifinal of the day up on the grid, and what a group of drivers. All right, we've got Hoeka, Tovio, Van Glabik. Let me try and get this one right. Been working on this one. You got to help me with this one.
Ease, etc.
Ease, etc. That's the one that's been my hiccup. Van Gorp and Lapati, who was very strong here in his last qualifier. So I feel like he's peaking at the right time. Starting back there in P6 for this one, but we're going to see what Lapati has up his sleeve for the rest of this field. As we're moments away from our first semifinal going green. Watching Hoeka on the pole position, been very strong yet so far today.
Makes such a difference, the gridded start here in the Rallycross semis and finals rather than the 5 wide, and Hoeka makes the best of that pole position to get the run down into the first corner. Cars running wide in the background. Hoeka though with the lead, and you can see the track maintenance that's been done. Paul Jr. cross cars often end up with the slipperiest of the conditions after the track has been worked on. Such low grip in the middle of the loose surface corner. Everyone fighting for some traction, but up front it's Tovio who follows fellow Finn Hoeka.
That's interesting, half the grid on the first lap opting to take the joker there.
Yeah, juniors don't have spotters as a rule, and I think it's tricky for them, especially when they're starting out in their careers strategy wise. but really you don't want to be following in so early because you're so compromised. If you followed in and you're already 5th, for example, and you're already behind someone who's been into the Joker, it's very difficult to make up that ground.
Yeah, that was the 88 of Van Gorp with a spin there. Currently up front, though, it is Jerry Huka, Tovio, and he's etc. in the 3rd spot. I think I finally got it. I'm getting that one down.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
All right, so, yep, another driver. That is the, I believe that was a 66 there of Tovio deciding to take the Joker early, which actually going to play in his favor. Comes out in the 2nd spot. So that means Huka, who is currently our leader.
Unfortunately, we've lost pictures in commentary, so
yeah, we've got some technical difficulties here. One of our monitors went down, so we're not able to see the race. But bear with us here. But we've got Huka currently leading. It is Tovio in the 2nd spot. He's etc. in the 3rd. So far taking the Joker, it is Tovio with the Joker. We've got Van Glebik, Lapati, and Van Gorp also have taken the Joker. Now Huka has jokered, laying down the best lap yet so far of a 42.285, as now we are getting our monitors rebooted. So the only driver yet to Joker is going to be Ease etc. So holding that one back, we've got 3 laps down. We're going a total of 5 laps here, so we're going to see what Ease etc. when he's going to be able to pull that off. Everybody else in the field has jokered. Once again, running order is Huka, Tovio, Ease etc., Van Glabik, Lapati, and Van Gorp. Now Tovio with the best lap so far of the day, eclipsing Huka. As we now have our monitor back, so I was shooting in the dark there. Hopefully we were able to carry the stream a little bit. But Huka out front. Now we've got a little battle here with the number 66. That is Tovio in the 2nd spot. Don't forget, nobody has their jokers left in this one. So
great job, I'd say, given that you couldn't see a thing.
I was calling that off of timing and scoring. So
fastest lap of the race so far from Tovio, who is right on the rear of Huka, but Huka with significantly more experience in this category, just doing what he needs to do to hold on out front. Oh, there's been a spin. That's Ease etc. that's gone round in the background, I think. The 198. Huka's going to get this done there as they cross the line to progress through to pole position in the final later on today.
So taking 3 out of that one will be Huka, Tovio, and waiting on the 3rd place.
Well, it won't be Ease etc.
It is Van Glabik going to take that right away from Lapati. That one went down to the wire.
Ease etc. dropping it on the final lap. I wonder if we'll see in the replay package what happened to the Norwegian. 2 Finns and a Belgian progress.
Brings us to our results for CrossCar Jr. Semifinal number 1, Jerry Huka. Top honors, Tovio and Van Glabik. Once again, those are going to be people that move on to that final. It's going to be Lapati, Ease etc., and Van Gorp in 4th through 6th position. All right, we got some more CrossCar Juniors on the line. This is going to be semifinal number 2. We're taking 3 more to the finals. It's going to be Klaassen on the pole position, Antilla there on the outside of row number 1, Mirosinks, Ramakers, and Mertens in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. Mertens all by himself on that 3rd row. Going to have a little bit of breathing room back there. Both Klaassen and Antilla had great runs in that last qualifying session. All right, a few seconds to go. Tim Klaassen on the pole position. As a rallycross fan, I love that the light isn't timed. That was one of those where you know there was a longer delay. What is it, anywhere from half a second to 3.5 seconds when it goes dark to going green?
Yeah, so when I was competing, you used to be able to guess the lights because you go to any venue when it was non-standardized across the championship and you'd be able to almost see the guy pressing the button, or you'd know that it was 2.5 seconds, and you could count it in your head. You could have something on the dash to tell you, but now it's always totally random with the chronometer timekeepers, and sometimes the hold is really long. Sometimes it's almost instantaneous, and that's why we get these varied starts, and for me that's great.
That was Rallyx that looked like took his joker there on the first lap.
Klaassen flying out front. Remember, Klaassen ended up in a pickle earlier on, but is doing a great job at the front of the order in this one. The Dutch driver, Alex Antila, in the very distinctive Edge machine, running second.
Klaassen and Antila had a great battle earlier on in some of the qualifying runs.
Antila, super experienced, had a huge accident up in Aalsbyn last year and was put out for the weekend. Someone runs wide in the background. I guess that was Rallyx, was it?
Yeah, Rallyx, possibly. Yeah, I believe that was.
It was. Paperwork flying off the desk here in the commentary box.
We had quite the different varied weather conditions. Cold, then we went to sunny. Now we got a little bit of a breeze. So
welcome to Europe.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I know, you know, wind as much as heat can dry tracks out too. That wind starts cutting across the track, and it really can dry out in a hurry. So those gravel sections might change up over the course of this afternoon, as we got a big pass there.
Close at the Joker merge. I love the Joker merge here, actually. That was just about as close as you'd want it to be, really, with
I think that was
Rosniks.
So right now your running order is Pim Klaassen out front, Alex Antila in the second spot, Rallyx in the third, Mirosinks in the fourth spot, Mertens back in spot number 5. We are taking 3 to the main event, to the final. Everybody's got their jokers in with 2 laps to go.
Probably diverse field in the top 4. A Dutch, Finn, Belgian and a Latvian. Such talent in this junior cross-car field. With the champion having graduated to cross-car, it's an open playing field to see who can stand on the top step at the end of the year this season as well.
And I think that is kind of one of the big storylines in junior, because Svedlin was so fast last year, just dominant, of course, you know, across all of the rounds. And, you know, to really the other drivers, they got to be excited because, hey, it's wide open playing field this year.
Yeah, he had his ups and downs, but he was quick when it mattered, and like you say, got the job done. So I think you're always pleased when a champion moves on. Okay, everyone wants to beat the best people, don't they? But at the same time, if you don't have the same experience, that's always a challenge. And ultimately, once you get into it, then yeah, you just beat what's in front of you. Klaassen takes the win ahead of Antila, and Rallyx is going to complete the top 3. Oh, sorry, he's not. Something's happened on the last lap there.
Yeah. No, it was, yeah, our timing and scoring is re-updating, so it was Rallyx taking home that 3rd spot. As we get a look here at some of the highlights.
There's a transponder issues flashed up on the timing screen. So clearly there was some manual timing going on with Rallyx's car, but did indeed get inside the top 3 and will complete the list of starters for the final later on this afternoon.
So CrossCar Jr in the books. Our final has been set after that semifinal number 2. Klaassen once again with the win. Antila and Rallyx going to be the 3 moving on to the final later on this afternoon here at the Euro Circuit, which means we're going to move on to CrossCar with another 6 drivers. This is going to be semifinal number 1. Merstad, who has been very, very fast. Eek Merstad. We got Tree, Vlasic, Svedlin, who we just talked about, Van Grieken, and Widlin, Van Widlin in the 6th spot.
I'll let you take that one because I don't know either.
But, you know, honestly, I mean, Eek Merstad was so fast, especially in that last qualifier. I mean, the rest of the field, it's going to be interesting because if he doesn't make any mistakes from the pole, it's going to be very, very hard to catch.
He won the championship last year after years of trying. He came so close, quite often ended up in last round battles that didn't quite pay off. massive monkey off his shoulders last year to get that title in his pocket, and I think that's just chilled him out massively, and he can just drive free now. He's going to drive in FC2 as well later this season, so I think he's just in that really nice zone where he doesn't need it, but he knows he can deliver.
Here these carts spooled up. Great jump by
Merstad on the inside. Vettel Tree second, followed by JC teammate Carl Svedland.
Everybody staying clean out of the sand trap through that one. Gonna hit that transition into the gravel portion. Track here at Euro Circuit, 60% tarmac, 40% gravel.
It was Vlasak who rolled earlier, wasn't it, into the gravel in the first corner, who is right in the fight here to make it through to the final. But remember, you need to be inside the top three. So often in CrossCar we've had 3 semi-finals, but here this weekend, just the 2.
So Merstad out front, Tree, Svedland, your top 3 in those transfer spots. Top 4 have yet to take their joker. We've had Van Wijlen and Van Grieken both take their jokers, currently sitting in the 5th and 6th spot.
And really, I struggle to see anyone better in the top 2 at the moment, and Svedland in 3rd. The pace is just so good with that trio.
Looked like Vlasic there taking the joker in the 4th spot. Don't know that he did him any, gonna do him any good. There's a pretty big gap. We'll see if he can battle back. Probably smart move to get it done early though, and see if something out front happens.
No, if I was Svedland, I'd respond now. If the spotter thinks they've got the gap from the JC Race Techniques squad, just so you maintain that track position and stop a local driver like Pim Vlasic, just using that local knowledge to close the gap. Will Svedland go in this time around? Let's watch the white car in the background. Yes, indeed, this is just to cover off the position if that's possible, and it will be. Look, comfortably for the reigning junior champion in a different chassis for this year into the Speed Car Wonder, and now it's all about just trying to hit your marks, focus on progressing forward and trying to close on your teammate, but really you're through to the final, aren't you? And as a debut round of Rallyx Senior CrossCar, I think you'd be pretty satisfied with that. Of course, everyone wants to win every time they get in, don't they? But it's all about making those key moves just to progress and progress and progress.
All right, so we're going to have, that's our leader, I believe. Was that?
That's Tree.
Oh, that was Tree that took the joker there.
Vettel Tree with the purple livery this year rather than the green of last year. He's going to return ahead of his teammate. Oh, and Svedland's gone wide in the background. Just seen the white CrossCar off into the gravel. That's a disaster for the reigning junior champion. Has lost the position.
That is the transfer position. Going to try and battle back with 1 lap to go. Can Svedland get around Vlasic there?
I feel a bit bad now for championing him so much. If ever there was a commentator's curse, it's probably been delivered right there, hasn't it? I'm afraid. To Carl. Up front though, Thomas Merstad still needs to take a joker. There is the red and blue machine in the alternative extra route, comfortably out in front.
All right, so now the battle here with a couple corners to go is going to be Svedland getting around Vlasic.
Oh, it's going to be so close to the run to the line, but Vlasic's going to get it done at home, the Dutch driver. Svedland with the wiper on. Look how dirty the front of the windscreen is there on the Speed Car Wonder. Just misses out on a place in the final. He'll be frustrated with that.
Yeah, tough
quite
break
see what
there.
happened though, did we? So something may have happened for
Looked like he just swung it a little wide, but like we said, we didn't quite catch it. But great run in his debut here in CrossCar. So we can look here at some of the early action. Nice joker there by Tree. And in the end, it was all Ike Merstad with the top spot.
Yeah, it looks like Svedland, like you say, went off on his own in the background. Didn't quite see that, did we? But shame for him. Yeah, but that's the thing with double headers. You've got it all to do again tomorrow. Put it behind you. Have a good night's sleep and come back fighting.
So semi-final number 1, CrossCar. Our 3 drivers going to be moving on to the final. Ike Merstad, Tree, and Vlasic. Svedland just on the outside after that small mistake. We'll try and get things corrected for tomorrow. Qualify into his first main in CrossCar. Right now we've got another group of CrossCars getting ready to go, taking 3 more to the final. A few seconds out. Van Hoof, Isaac-Setra, Hoeka, Timmermans, Plachetta, and Bex. Oh, look at, we got half the field. Well, 4 of the 6 cars jumped. Only the 2 cars on the inside didn't.
I don't know if Bex jumped or not, but that was premature at best, wasn't it? It was went very early indeed. You know you've messed up when you're on the back row and you pass the front row before they've moved. But it might, in fairness, it might not have been Bex that first moved. Quite often what happens is, if our driver jumps and the start lights change, you're so reactive to whatever's changing on the gantry that you might go anyway, even if it's the jump start signal that's been censored, that's been shown.
So which is weird, because I watched the start and it looked like our pole sitter, Van Hoof, didn't even move. So I don't know how to take that one, but we had 4 cars moving, 2 not. So if there's multiple jumps, does everybody have to take a double joker that jumped?
Yeah, they know who instigated it first.
Okay, so it's just whoever was the first one to jump.
To break the beam, yeah.
Okay.
And they can slow the they've got the data off the timing beams, but they can also slow the footage down. They can work it out.
Junior. So everybody thought, well, okay, where is he going now? So Daan Bex has to do the joker lap section twice, which is.
So we haven't actually seen, but we can hear Martin, the local commentator here for the trackside audience, saying it is indeed Bex. So,
which is along what you said. He passed the entire field, so
just enthusiastic to get going. Fair enough.
Well, you know, the truth is, he's starting back there at 6. You've got to do something, because you've got to get around at least a couple of drivers, you know what I mean, to qualify into the final. So
absolutely, yeah.
I don't blame him for threading the needle like that. Just didn't work in his favor. That's a clean start. It's going to be Van Hoof taking us into the first corner. Oh! Little contact there, that looks like from Isaac-Setra and Hoeka.
Oh, Bex has run really wide, still sticking the rear wheels out into the gravel. Tricky semi-final start for him.
Through that tight right-hander. He's going to see who's going to take the joker on this first lap. It looks like Timmermans in the mix there, Plachetta and Bex, I believe.
Yeah. Looks about right. Van Hoof leading from the front of the order in the white machine, followed by Riku Hoeka and Espinese, etc. Battling going on further back. Someone's run wide there on the exit of the chicane, just dropped a wheel into the dusty gravel on the outside.
Van Hoof getting a little bit of a lead over second spot. There's Hoeka, Isaac-Setra in the third spot. See if Isaac-Setra now taking the joker.
Wise decision, in fairness, I think, with the margin there now to run in some free air and try and get the hammer down. Isaac-Setra will be doing the season, so it's all about accumulating as many points as possible. Timmermans runs wide in the background. Takes the pressure even more of Isaac-Setra, but Isaac-Setra will not be looking in his mirrors now, absolutely. Just focused on what's ahead.
So we're going to see if one of our top 2, 3 laps to go up. We got one turned around there.
Bex, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, that was Bex.
Fairly torrid afternoon.
So Hoeka now through the joker, currently in second. So going to be 2 laps to go. Van Hoof going to have to take the joker at some point. The rest of the field has taken the joker. Little over rotation through the chicane there from Hoeka. 51 of Isaac-Setra now trying to reel in Hoeka.
Van Hoof's got this covered there. Great performance from the local driver.
There's our leader, Van Hoof, taking the joker. Great time to pull the trigger with 2 to go. Had the gap.
like I said in qualifying earlier in the previous stream, if you and Hukar runs a wheel into the dirt, he's etc. is reeling in Hukar here. I wonder if Hukar's got a bit of a problem because ran a bit wide, and it's so experienced as a Finn. I don't think he'd succumb to the kind of pressure that a less experienced driver would. See what happens on this final lap. Of course, there's a yellow flag down at the hairpin, which won't help his etc's cause. Ultimately, they're both through to the final, so you don't want to make a stupid lunge that's going to cause you a big issue with making it through. But at the same time, a second row slot on the grid is much better than a third row if you want to be on the podium this afternoon.
All right, so we've got a corner remaining. He's etc. trying to chase down Hoeka. Van Hoof going to take the top spot, going to find his way to I guess the front row for sure in the semifinal or in the final.
He's etc. got it done in the final corners, so Hoeka must have had something going on. We missed that in the shot, but just out of the final corner, he's etc. got ahead. Contact between those two in turn one, bit of contact in the background for Bex as well, who had a good old wobble on and ended up in the gravel on the outside. Wonder if this is where Bex ended up pointing into the barrier on the inside. A bit more nudging going on. No, just a bit of argy-bargy.
A bit of contact. There's Bex again, and
just lit the rears up, got over-rotated. No reversing these things, so when your nose in like that, you're
that's a tough break for
struggling.
Bex. All right, that brings us to semifinal number 2 results. Van Hoof, etc. and Hoeka moving on to the final. It's going to be Timmermans, Plachetta, and Bex going to finding their way back again tomorrow. All right, we are back to our grid. We're going to go racing here with open 2-wheel drive. Mannix and Verhoeven.
So we're just ahead of the first semifinal of
Alwinji, Lidman, McGarry, and Van Holst.
Here at the track, we're going to continue with the open forward drive, but interesting. Start number 93, Tobias Dahlbach. Start number 18, Erwin Clausen. And start number 5, Danny Leuten, get a 5-second penalty for cutting the track. So that was the decision for that. And
looks like we're getting ready to go here. It's going to be semifinal number 1. We're going to have 3 semifinals here for 2-wheel drive, so we're going to take the top 2 out of this one, so every position matters. Lidman in the number 10 getting around into the 2nd spot. Well, looks like they drop back now. 2nd to 4th in one straightaway. That's tough.
Good start from Peter McGarry to get up the inside of Lidman. Lidman's fallen back badly there as well. I can hear a misfire from the commentary box position, so I wonder if there's something going on with Lidman. Lidman's going to look to the inside of Volders there. Oh, they come together. That's massively helped out Peter McGarry just ahead, who's now applying pressure to the rear of Verhoeven. Remember, you need to be in the top 2 of this race to get through to the final. So the pressure's on for the top 3, and actually these 3 getting caught up. Look at the dent in Volders' door there.
Lots of contact there. Van Holst in the mix also. And right now it's Mannix out front with just a commanding lead here in our first semifinal.
McGarry really applying the pressure here with the much shorter wheelbase Volkswagen Polo. Look at the ducting on the roof to try and get some cool air into the rear cooling on the car. Ducts in the side as well in the rear windows. Verhoeven goes into the Joker this time around. Interesting strategy, but I wonder if just didn't want to deal with the pressure of having McGarry leaning on the rear bumper, and now this is all about McGarry having to nail the lap times. Peter needs to keep his head down, keep looking forward, don't worry about what's going on behind. This is where you absolutely rely on your spotter. A good spotter now will be telling you exactly what's going on. Don't even look in the mirrors, the gap's big enough. It's all about hitting your markers, trying to maximise everything you can to build the gap. At the moment, I'd say the gap isn't there, so he definitely needs to go again.
Looks like Verhoeven is actually putting some pressure now. I think taking it a little bit early was McGarry. Gonna get the position back.
I would have gone again because the gap wasn't there. Ultimately, if you fall into the clutches more, then there's nothing lost. But there's always a potential to increase the gap. But again, that's easy for me to say standing here.
So Mannix out front, Verhoeven in the second spot, McGarry in the third. Remember, we're only taking 2 because there is 3 semifinals.
Mannix hasn't really featured in the race so far out in front, some 6 seconds up the road from Verhoeven at the moment into the Joker this time around with a couple of laps to go.
So Littman, the only one remaining that still has to take a Joker. And there's Littman going to take the Joker as well. So all drivers now have taken the Joker. Mannix, Verhoeven, McGarry, your top 3. McGarry trying to chase down Verhoeven for that final transfer spot into the main, into the final.
Within a second, oh, look how sideways Mannix gets there onto the loose. Through turn 2, absolutely no troubling the Mean Machine out front. Let's have a look back at the battle for second though. And see if McGarry is indeed able to do anything about Verhoeven. No one has lost quite a bit of time there, I'd say, as well. So not going to happen for Peter today.
No, tough break for McGarry. A little slide there for Mannix at the line. Is going to be Verhoeven in the second transfer spot. McGarry going to be the first car sent home today. Whoa, big drift there. Littman there and Van Holst rounding things out as we take a look back. Big jump there from Littman. Had a great run up into the first corner. Got left to hang out to dry on the outside of corner number 1. From then, Littman just kind of cycled back through the field. Battle became between Mannix, Verhoeven, and McGarry for those transfer spots.
And this is where it went wrong for that final 3. They're getting tied up in the hairpin. They just lost so much time. There was nothing they could do thereafter. So it's such a lottery of the semi-finals as well, isn't it? Because you can end up in a relatively weak semi relative to your pace, or you can end up in a super strong semi compared to your pace. It just depends how the intermediate classification falls, and sometimes you're sort of gifted a bit of a pass through, and sometimes you're given a massive mountain to climb. I think actually in that one the pace was fairly spread nicely, but yeah, the top 2 go through, all Belgian finals so far.
All right, this one we got Volders and Becks, Thielen and Hendricks, Wallach and Jeenan. I know Wallach had some struggles in that last one, getting bumped and banged around, and you know, I look for Wallach to make a charge here.
2 Belgian drivers in the front, Steve Volders and Christoph Becks. Lane number 2 ball better.
Becks on the outside of row number 1. You're looking for Becks to have a strong run. Volders had a great run in that last qualifier. A few seconds out. Going to be taking 2 out of this one to the final. Volders and Becks, identical starts.
Great start from Wallach from the back of the grid as well. Got round Tom Geen, and of course the 2 cars in the middle row there were front-wheel drive, and they're always going to be slower off the line, but great lap time pace, as we said earlier on. But Wallach will really want to get the hammer down now to try and better at least one of these drivers up front. Tom Geen's team have done well to repair that car after going off in Q3 not very long ago in the chicane.
All of our leaders taking the main line. Only had 1 car, didn't get a look at who it was, took the Joker. It is the number 77 of Volders leading. Becks put a lot of pressure on there through the chicane.
It was Thielen in the background, I think, that went into the Joker. You're right, though, huge pressure from Becks on Volders. Becks would be expected to have the ultimate pace, I think, over Steve Volders. Volders driving the car that Bart Bell raced last year in open 2-wheel drive. And Beck's really looking for an opportunity to open the door. Puts the nose inside. Beck's delivered that brilliant overtaking Q3 earlier on to take the fastest time. That's really what got him back up the order after spinning out in that battle with Victor Johansson in Q2. And is now applying huge pressure to the back of Volders.
Do you expect Becks here to take the Joker early, and then try and make the pass here later on, or do you look at he's the faster car out on track. He just can't get around Volders. Volders doing a great job of playing defense.
You can see Volders is really not quite on top of the car in the way that Bex is. Very sideways on the exits, getting hard in the throttle. That's a disaster for Christoph Bex. This could play into the hands of Wallach. Wallach's on the inside. In the background, that's Hendricks that's spun. Volders and Bex have maintained their position over Wallach, so that's really helped Wallach out. Bex runs a wheel into the gravel and loses some time.
And it looked to me like Volders kind of at the last second decided to take the Joker.
And I would have to say, if that's a spotter decision, that's brilliant. If that's a driver decision, that's brilliant. Covering off someone who's quicker than you into the Joker is not easy to do, but is the greatest kind of checkmate tactic you can play, and done a great job there, has Volders. Famously, Andreas Bakker did it to Petter Solberg in the World Championship 2016, I want to say. No, 2017 it would have been, in the semi-finals. Andreas had pole, Solberg had second, and historically, if you were second, you'd go around the outside into the Joker in the first corner, and if pole, you'd go on the standard lap. Well, Bakker carried that pace into the first corner and defended into the Joker, and it's those sorts of strategies I really like, where you're thinking outside of the normal box to try and achieve what you need to do. There's nothing wrong with it, you're just playing a different card, and fair play to Volders for getting it done, and is withstanding huge pressure here.
Oh, look at, he's getting a fender on him. Bex,
But as long as you keep forcing Bex to the outside, there's nowhere to go.
And you've got to give Volders a lot of credit. He has really been holding his line and not giving Bex any inch or any centimeter to try and get through.
Great job from Steve Volders to win the second semi-final of Open two-wheel drive. He'll be sweating in that car. That was a hard-won race. Two more Belgians through to the final. Wallach just misses out. Another of the British-Irish contingent just not making it through this afternoon. Great start, though, from the BMW man in the background, but really it was all about Bex applying massive pressure to Volders throughout.
And that was the story of the day. I mean, Bex just pressuring Steve Volders the entire race and just not giving him any kind of room to make a move. So that's the 404 there of Hendricks getting spun around.
I thought he spun, but he was actually spun, wasn't he? He got a good old hoof in the rear to get round.
Nice little bump. That brings us to our results. Semifinal number 2 in the books for Open two-wheel drive. Volders in the transfer spot. Christoph Bex also transferring. So those are going to be your top two. Volders going to find that front row in the semifinal. Or in the final. He's going to like that.
Yeah, you're right. Volders will be on the front row, and the winner of the next semi will be on the inside in row 2.
Oh, we're hearing Steve Volders touch the marker, so getting a 3-second penalty. So I believe Bex is now going to be the victor.
How far behind was Wallach? 3 miles behind on time. So Bex will still make. There is the that's the pre-penalty result. So Volders will lose 3 seconds. He'll end up second. Bex will be a winner. It doesn't change who progresses. It'll change the grid positions for the final later on.
Wow, that's interesting. So like we said, through that chicane, those markers do mean something. All right, so this is our final semifinal, taking 2 more to the final here at the circuit. It is Johansson and Van Lommel on the front row, Niens and Van Hove, Hermans and Garbelink there in the final row. Top 2 advance. Victor Johansson on the inside. Gonna get that clean air.
Van Lommel tucks in behind. Johansson didn't have as great a start. We've seen him. Oh, and that's Nick Nayens, I think, wide.
Oh, that looked like into the wall.
Ford Escort just bouncing through the sand there, has lost out badly. Johansson leading from Van Lommel. Van Hove has moved up in the little BMW 1M as well with the Honda engine. Herman's into the Joker this time around, but we've lost Nayans, haven't we? So I wonder if Nayans is got the bucket and spade out in the sandpit on the exit of the first corner.
It's very deep out there. You get too far out and you lose your momentum. If you're not staying in it, you're not going to, especially in a two-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive cars have a chance, but we got the yellow flag now. It looked like flying.
Let's have a look where the car is as we go over there. Oh, nearly made it out as well. So close. That's so frustrating that you've... there we are. Live to fight another day.
All right, so only one driver, Herman's, yet to take, or has taken the Joker. So that means all of our leaders, top three, Johansson, Van Lommel, and Van Hove, still need to take the Joker.
The race is never over until it's over, is it? Anything could happen, but at the moment, the gaps are building here. Johansson's got a 1.1 second margin over Van Lommel. Van Hove's another 1.5 seconds behind as well. That area is not in a brilliant place, is it, for the trackside camera? And Garvelink is a good few seconds behind that as well. So this is a little bit formulaic at the moment. Let's see if Van Hove can get on the back of Van Lommel. Goes into the Joker this time around just to mix the strategy up a bit with 3 laps still to go. Bouncing off the limiter on the loose on the exit with the K20 engine.
And I think with Van Hove, I agree. That was a great strategy there because the top 2 spots count. You got to do something to shake it up.
Probably doesn't have the car perfected enough yet, I don't think, to be fighting right at the front of this. Victor Johansson, for those that don't watch it, Victor has a YouTube channel documenting his racing endeavours and most specifically his car rebuild over the winter, and it's very Victor, and I'm lucky enough to know Victor from my time working in Rallyx, and he's a lovely guy, and that really comes across. His nature really comes across in the YouTube series. He's not trying to be a megastar. He's not trying to prove anything. He's just being himself, and it's a really good watch. I'd encourage anyone to go and see it. The reigning Rallyx champion. It's a big ask to come down here as one of the only non-Belgian or Dutch drivers to take the locals on here, and he's doing a great job. All of that winter effort. I watched his latest video last week, and he was talking about the relentless long nights, and I know this well from my recent projects in restoring historic cars, and I know you will have experienced exactly the same, Jim. It's painful when you're there late at night on your own trying to achieve this dream, and it all comes good when you're in this situation. As Johansson crosses the line to complete the race, all those late nights become very worth it, don't they, in this situation?
Absolutely.
And he's taken another step towards a good result this afternoon.
Yeah, and now all those short nights of sleep and everything else is paying off because Victor Johansson going to move on to the final.
The unfortunate thing is you forget all that pain very quickly and then want to do it again.
As we go back to the start, and yes, it was Victor Johansson getting the lead early. That's a mistake there that put one of the cars there into the sand pit. Victor Johansson there. Got the lead though, never looked back. Van Lommel tried, Van Hove tried. Nobody had anything for Victor Johansson today. With our results in open two-wheel drive semifinal number 3, Victor Johansson moving on to the final. Van Lommel moving on to the final, and then we've got Van Hove, Garvelink, Hermans, and Nayans going to be sent home. We will see them in action tomorrow in open two-wheel drive.
And Tobias Dahlbach from Denmark in
all right, this is going to be our first semi-final here in the FC2 division. This is open full. These cars FC2s, but open full drive. It's going to be Ericsson on the inside, Anderson on the outside of row number 1, Janssen and Klaassen. Darvik there inside number 5. I'm looking at Janssen in the inside there, row number 2 in that 3rd position. Just really hasn't had a good day so far, but I think Casper really could put something down here.
You have days like that, don't you, where you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got caught up in that issue with with Anderson. Got stuck in some traffic. It just sometimes it just doesn't roll for you. But the way you build championships is just to keep your head up, keep plugging along, picking up the pieces when you can, and that's what makes the ultra successful drivers, isn't it? Just knowing which battles to pick and keep fighting on.
So we're going to be taking 3 out of this to the final.
Short hold and a brilliant start from Klaassen. Kasper Janssen, after the big G up on the commentary, loses out there in the first corner. Ollie Eriksson's leading away up front from Lucas Anderson. Janssen gets up the inside of Darbach on the exit of turn 2. Anderson's in the rear of Ollie Eriksson, looking to the inside, just a little nudge to let Eriksson know he's there. There's no room through on the inside there. It's a tighter corner than it looks. In the background, Kasper Janssen and Darbach into the Joker for the first time of asking.
Looks like one of the drivers pushing a little wide there. Oliver Eriksson out front, getting some pressure though on the number 99 of Anderson.
Klaassen ran wide, and really Kasper Janssen could do with Klaassen just not making any mistakes so that he doesn't get caught too quickly. Klaassen could well Joker this time around to give Janssen some free air. Of course, he's absolutely not obliged to do anything. He can keep driving to the end if he wants to. Janssen already on the back of Klaassen here into the hairpin. Anderson was dropped off the back of Ollie Eriksson by the tune of half a second. Klaassen does indeed go Joker this time around. That's a real bonus for Kasper Janssen.
Looks a little off the pace there, almost like something's going on. It didn't quite look as quick.
Eriksson's on an absolute mission here. 36.9 last time around to Lucas Anderson's 38.4. I wonder if Anderson's got something going on or if Eriksson's just on a huge charge. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with Anderson's car from here. If ever there was remote diagnostics, that's it, isn't it? Because we've actually got no idea what's going on. Eriksson, though, visibly pushing really hard.
Yeah, Anderson going to take the Joker, hoping something happens with Eriksson on this on one of these final 2 laps. Up the number 18 there, that is Klaassen pulling off.
That Joker from Anderson was really to cover off Janssen, who'd been given the free air and was flying behind. Janssen, who'd done a 37.4 last time around. Anderson got the job done though to ensure that a second row spot is possible in the final. Ollie Eriksson though, look at the confidence Eriksson has in setting the car up into that corner. You can just see by the movement in the car, it's almost talking a language there, saying I'm on top of this. And Ollie Eriksson had such bad luck last season. He'll be looking to make amends for that, especially in a strong field, and he's doing a great job.
So 1 lap to go. Eriksson, Anderson, Janssen, and Darbach, your running order. Taking 3 so far, Kasper Janssen in the final transfer spot. Putting a lot of pressure on Anderson, though.
A nudge in the rear of Anderson. I wonder if Anderson's got an issue here, because unusually slow in some of these corners. Looks a bit over-rotated. Can we see Punk? It's so difficult to see on this screen because it's so covered in reflections. I wondered if there was a tyre down on the outside. We've got so much low sun in the commentary box. The rear of the car to me looks like it's moving around quite a lot, Jim.
It does look like it's moving around. We're going to see if something's set up in this final corner. Last chance. Look at the protection on the inside. Anderson doing a great job of protecting. They're both going to transfer, but
I'd say there's something wrong with the back of Anderson's car, just looking at the way it moved around a little bit when he got off the power as well.
All right, so we go back to the highlights of this one. It was Oliver Eriksson out front early, never looked back. Anderson trying to put a little pressure there on Eriksson early on.
Of course, Anderson's issue could be a legacy of the damage he had earlier on as well after that contact down at turn 3. Maybe we'll find out a bit later.
A little contact there.
Janssen just getting at the inside of Klaassen. Klaassen clearly already had issues. A lot of respect between these two. Janssen leaned on Anderson hard there, but not hard enough to spear him off. It was just hard enough to say, I'm coming through, keep the door open, but Anderson did a great job of defending. Ollie Eriksson takes the first semi-final victory from Anderson and Janssen. Darbach and Klaassen will be back tomorrow.
That was a dominating effort by Oliver Eriksson. Great to see him back and doing that. I know he was excited early on when we talked with him to have his brother here. The little sibling rivalry, says he doesn't really like it when his brother gets the best of him. But we're going to see if we're going to have a couple of Eriksson brothers in the final here, because right now it is Grönholm and Eriksson. This would be Kevin Eriksson on the front row of this one. Cerna, Nason, and Oman there in the, or Oman on the inside of row number 3. So 28 car, that is Kevin Eriksson. Grönholm in the other car look identical. It's going to be Grönholm with the whole shot there. It's going to be Kevin Eriksson slotting into the second spot.
Cerna third, Nason, and then Oman, the 3 four-wheel drive newcomers. Grönholm leading out front. Kevin Eriksson fastest in practice this morning. Had as much track experience here as Grönholm before this morning in absolutely none, despite them both having been here several times. So at least Kevin Eriksson's been here a lot of times, but his week this week has been full up of putting up awnings and sorting cars out and all sorts of multitasking. Now he's down to driving a racing car, and he's been shadowing Nicholas most of the day, hasn't he? They've ended up in the fastest races and just hasn't been able to find a way through. I suspect he'll shadow again today in the semi-finals and then pull the pin in the final, but
it's funny, I talked to Kevin Eriksson earlier this weekend, and I asked him, I said, so the only time you're going to be able to relax this weekend is when you're behind the wheel of the car. And he goes, absolutely. He's so busy doing so many things.
And that's your happy place as a driver as well, isn't it? That's where you're most comfortable, and you're not thinking about other things, or you might be, but generally you're just focused on the next corner, aren't you? And it's a good place to be. Eriksson piling the pressure onto Nicholas Grönholm here. Grönholm back in an internal combustion engine supercar for the first time in a while, having been racing the all-electric car in the World Rallycross Championship for the last few years with CE dealer team.
There's the, Kevin going to stay tight, not take the joker on this one.
I really would mix it up if I was Eriksson, and they have a degree of control over this, the OMSE team, in that the top 3 drivers are all run out of their stable, but the spotters don't necessarily collaborate on that stuff because you always want your own driver to do the best you can. But Nicholas Grönholm's giving his father Marcus a pretty straightforward job on the spotting front at the moment, isn't it, by leading from the front. There's no real strategy involved at that juncture.
I could see Eriksson taking it this time by, just try and get a little bit of clean air and charge hard.
The problem is the traffic, Jim, because if you end up by, he's going to, you're right, but if he ends up behind Cerna, I think Cerna's gone in as well in the background. We haven't seen that. I wonder if that was a word in the ear upstairs on the roof of the truck here, just to say, right, this is what we're going to do, because we don't want to fall over each other.
All right, so this is the final lap. We are going to see Grönholm take the joker. Question is, does he have enough pace to and enough gap to clear Kevin Eriksson? We're going to know here momentarily.
Eriksson's on a massive charge in the background.
So that is Grönholm through the joker.
First sector though, Grönholm's taken 3/10 out of Eriksson and got it done. That is a great response from Nicholas Grönholm. Just managed the pace, managed Kevin behind him, and has maintained the lead. Brilliant job from the Finn.
So it's going to be Grönholm and Eriksson, and Nason getting around Cerna when he took the joker, I believe.
Good job from Nason on his four-wheel drive debut.
So Nason going to find his way to the finals.
Several of these drivers will be in the Pro-Am final as well later on. Marcus Grönholm comes off the roof. Shows me the number 1. Made it easy for you, mate. Not the most... he's not unenthusiastic. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess he's willing, but not. But he doesn't want to be doing the role.
I would say he's focused. I think he's focused right now.
Yeah. I'm searching my vocabulary. He's something.
He's something.
He definitely doesn't want to be doing that job, but I guess he's probably quite enjoying it, to be honest. But if you watched the pre-show of the qualifying show earlier, he and Nicholas agreed that he would say they didn't want to confuse things. And as we know, Finns don't generally say a lot anyway, so the process was, I will say joker when you should joker. That's it. No encouragement, no joker option. You know, the joker strategy, we could talk all day about it, and we should talk all day about it at some point as we see confirmation of the result. Nicholas Grönholm, Kevin Eriksson and Nason progress. There's all sorts of terminology where you say joker option, joker maybe, joker if clear, all these different scenarios where you're putting the onus on the driver, but you're giving them the information. You don't want to follow necessarily in all these scenarios. But the Grandhomes have ditched all of that, and they've gone, Joker, yes or no. That's all I need to know.
And I don't know anybody's ever going to argue with the Grandhomes and their approach to rally or rallycross. Because
no, that's true. Yeah, it has been quite successful.
I was going to say, whatever the approach is, it seems to work for both of them. I mean, obviously, we're wrapped up here with semifinals. We got the finals yet to come. You've been calling, here last year, rallycross. Any surprises this morning and so far this early afternoon that have surprised you?
I think that the cream has risen to the top, really, in terms of pace. Of course, there's a few people that have snuck into the finals, but that always happens, and that's why rallycross in general is so good, because this variability on who's at the front and who sneaks in. And now we see the finals. Yes, the gridded start does make a difference, and it's much less congested in the first corner than it is when you've got a 5-wide start. But it only takes a few people to start tripping over each other to allow one of those people to come through from the back that maybe we don't expect to be in the top 6. So it's going to be fascinating to see the finals unfold, and we've got some different finals as well. Lights, we didn't see a semi for. Lights has been great racing so far this weekend with some new drivers in that class as well. And the front-wheel drive, open two-wheel drives get their own final too. So there's going to be some really interesting battles that we haven't really seen so far in the heats when everyone's mixed up together. Yeah,
which is going to be fun because I think a lot of the drivers too, they've had so many qualifying sessions and now semifinals. They've got a good feel for each other. Some of those other divisions, they really don't know what to expect today. We don't know who's going to be fast.
And this is why it's so interesting at a first round, especially when there's lots of local drivers, as we've said several times, is because if you race someone all year, you get to know their traits, don't you? Where they're going to defend, where they're weak, where they're strong, and you try and battle against those and show your hand. But there's so many unknowns here. We don't know what's going on from a commentary point of view. They don't know who they're racing against, really. And I love that because it just brings all that variability into it, that the unknowns are great at providing drama.
Yeah, I think one of my fun stories this weekend was, seeing Kevin Eriksson back behind the wheel. He wasn't even supposed to race this weekend. I think it was kind of a last-minute decision to put Kevin behind the wheel. I think a lot of people wondered, he's been out of the car for a while. How's his pace going to be? Well, truth is, he hasn't lost a step at all.
Number one, he's an amazing driver, like many of the top rallycross drivers in the world are. But also, he's in the cars a lot anyway. Whether that's a shakedown at Strangnass or whether he's doing a bit of driver tuition, it's not the same as competing, and he's also basically running the car himself. The mechanics are on Nicholas's car. Kevin's jumping out, doing his own tyre pressures and stuff. So he's not in professional race driver mode, but if you've got that talent, you can deliver it, can't you? And I guess he's so comfy in this car, in this team, in this environment. It's a real opportunity for him to excel, and there's also no pressure. He doesn't do this because he needs to win. He does this because he's supporting the championship. All the Erikssons are so intrinsically involved. I think it's probably quite refreshing driving in that way, as opposed to being a young driver looking to establish yourself and get results. Kevin's just driving because that's what he does. And
win or lose, it doesn't matter.
And ultimately, that's when you get the best out of yourself, because there isn't that additional pressure you put on yourself. There's not all this expectation. It's just go out and drive, and he won't care if he's third or if he would love to win. Yeah. But he's not going to lose any sleep if he finishes third or fourth. So I think from a mental perspective, and this is such a mental game, isn't it? It's all about having your head in the right place. I think it's probably very healthy.
Well, and I think I loved that last race with Kevin Eriksson and Grönholm, Nicholas Grönholm, because they were two of the best in the world and driving each other so close. It's almost art. It's a dance. When you get two drivers and they're driving each other clean but fast, and you see the tandem drifting and things like that, to me it's a thing of beauty.
It's absolute trust, isn't it? You just know that the other guy's not going to do anything unexpected, not going to push you off, not going to slam the door on you, and that's when you see some of the best races. When people are racing hard but fair, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a well. Still, we've got a ton of stuff yet to come. I mean, we've got a ton of finals yet to come. A lot still yet to come. So those of you tuning in at home, you definitely don't want to go anywhere, because we've got finals on tap coming up here shortly.
Mads, it was not an easy beginning of the weekend with P4 in Q1, but you managed to end the qualifying on a high note with being P2 and P1. What's your feeling before the final?
I have a good feeling. I feel I could begin to get a fight with the good guys. So I try to keep up the good pace and try to get the best result.
And it was good against Robert Wittels, which is not easy. He was super fast. I guess it's a lot. It means a lot for you.
Yes, it means a very lot. I start just to look. They are long gone, but now I can fight them. So it means so much.
What's your plan now for the final? What do you think you can do at this moment?
I feel good. I feel I would try to keep up in third place if I can do that. So I try.
No stupid risk then?
What?
No stupid risk then for the final?
No.
Thank you very much. See you later. Victor, congratulations for the semi-final. It was a bit like last year. It was not easy against the local drivers here, especially Yorick with his brand new engine.
It's been a hectic day. Had good starts, but the speed they are faster than me. They've been all day, so I will analyze the semi-final now. Felt like I made some it was really small changes for the semi-final. Went down on the air pressure and so on. Was able to drive my own lines a little bit. Nobody in the surroundings, so I clocked in a few good laps. I haven't checked them, but they are pretty sharp, I think.
You think it's going to be enough for the final, or?
You never know. Maybe the Mean Machine and Bex and those guys have a car down their sleeve yet, but I know my starts are good. We will see if I stand in the front or the second row, depending on who was the best qualifier between me and Volgers, I think. So I have to check that, and everything can happen in the final. I know everybody wants to win, so it'll be very awesome.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
right, we're getting ready to go with our first final of the season. First final of the day, but the season, yes, this is round 1 of the Rallyx Championship, and it is going to be open two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. So we're going to have two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive on the grid. Didn't see these in the semifinals because there wasn't enough of them, but we're going to have 5 cars on the grid. And this is a little bit different take on the two-wheel drive category.
So these are the front-wheel drive cars from open two-wheel drive. They've taken their intermediate classification, much like in the ProAm four-wheel drive, in open four-wheel drive, and extracted those for a top 6 for the final. So they haven't, while all of these competitors have raced each other in the heats, there's always been someone else in the mix as well. And now this is an all front-wheel drive battle. There was a hilarious scenario this time last year, Jim, where I think we had 4 jump starts, and we nearly lost the will to do anything after that because it just took forever. But yeah, hopefully we're more successful today. Look, the cars are doing the unique tyre clean I explained to you last night in the background because you're at 90 degrees to the track. They'll all get themselves sorted out. This will be probably the slowest start of any class we've seen so far because front-wheel drive cars, very difficult to get off the line. Imagine a dog scrabbling at some dirt or something with their front legs. It's tricky to launch them. But this will be a super close race because this is the first time we've seen the front-wheel drive cars all racing head-to-head.
Yeah, well, and you say that, it's funny because you know, for those of you tuning in at home, definitely watch the front wheels of that front row because they just sit there and they just spin. It's like they can't get going forward. Like you said, it's like a dog just sitting there trying to get going. And once they do, they get moving pretty quick. But it's
the lap time's great. Yeah, it's just that initial launch, and that's why people opt for rear-wheel drive ultimately. And rear-wheel drive is probably
it's fun being able to slide it around. It's a different technique, and I've driven front-wheel drive cars versus I prefer rear-wheel drive personally, but it's a different technique to get a front-wheel drive car rotating.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're great fun as well. There's nothing better than four-wheel drive. Anyway, we can have that debate later.
Well, I know front-wheel drive platform's been very good in stage rally over the years with the Focus R2, I believe it's called, but right now we're going racing with the two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. It's Thielen, Hendricks, Van Hulst, Colgin, and Verbucht here in our 5-car field.
And it's Hendricks who gets the advantage into the first corner, having had that spin earlier on in the open two-wheel drive semi-finals, followed by Van Hulst in the Peugeot 206.
That's Thielen
oh, sorry,
as well.
It's Thielen in the 208 second. My apologies, it's Van Hulst in 4th position. Collins in the Yaris in the mix as well. But we saw a front-wheel drive car win overall in Montenegro last year, and there's some circuits where they really just come into their own, especially when there's a lot of loose surface sections. Hendricks has been quick today amongst the other open two-wheel drive runners, but this is where you really have the opportunity to shine. And I'm for it, to be honest. An extra final, it allows you to compete on more of a level playing field, and ultimately winning a final at home is always amazing, isn't it? So to give these front-wheel drive runners that chance is brilliant.
All right, so we've got our top 2 not electing to take the Joker. We're going to see how far deep the grid. We see who decides to take the Joker. We do have one taker. I believe that would be the number 415 of Verbucht. So back up front, it's the 404 of Hendricks leading, being chased down by Thielen.
It's a 2-car race up front, really, isn't it? With Thielen really applying the pressure to Hendricks. I'm going to have a look back at the intermediate classification. I tell you what, if I look away, something will happen. So maybe I can inspire some drama here. Open two-wheel drive Pro Intermediate. Just find that on the laptop. So the best of the front-wheel drive runners in intermediate was indeed Hendricks, 11th overall, so well up in the semi-finals at intermediate stage in the overall open two-wheel drive. So clearly the pace has been great.
So Thielen electing to take the Joker on that, gives him a lot of clean air, was right on the bumper of pushing Hendricks. So I think Thielen may have one of the quicker cars, so he's going to put a gap there, try and now narrow that gap back, so when Hendricks does pull the trigger and takes the Joker, he's got a chance to sneak by.
I was completely wrong there as well, in fairness. Thielen was the best of the front-wheel drive runners, never outside the top 10, and I think a lot of that is the consistency you can deliver with a front-wheel drive car. especially when the grip's changing. It's going to be close here at the Joker merge between the two. Thielen's coming around the outside.
Just a clip there on the rear bumper.
Gets the job done. That was a brilliant push lap from Thielen. Got the Joker really, had the response from Hendricks, but it wasn't enough. The Belgian gets ahead of the Dutchman. Great job from the Peugeot 208 driver, and based on the now correct intermediate standings I'm looking at, that would play into the pace we've seen so far today as well.
Are we going to be able to get it back? Oh no! I thought it had a chance to keep the momentum, just couldn't get the car turned back onto the tarmac there.
It's bad news when the front lip of the front bumper and then the sump guards start bellying out, then you just wheels are scrabbling into nowhere. This is a great battle for the lead though up front, isn't it, into the last lap. Hendricks really applying the pressure to Thielen.
Hendricks now trying to battle back and have corner remaining here. Not going to be enough, so it is going to be Thielen with that pass around Hendricks when he took the Joker. Going to seal the deal. Thielen going to be your victor here.
I wonder if Hendricks isn't delighted by that. He's so close behind the race winner as they come back towards the paddock. Maybe there's some frustration, but there was a little touch, wasn't there, at the Joker merge? Not a lot.
Just a brush.
Ultimately, it's a great strategy to take the Joker first as well, in that you have right of way on the standard lap. So if you've been the first one into the Joker and it's going to be close at the merge like it is here, thank you to the EVS op who's got that done. And we're going to see it again here. This is a brilliant angle.
Just snakes by. I mean, just
nothing,
a brush.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that in my eyes from Thielen, because there was room on the right-hand side of Hendricks as well. I think that was just a close Joker merge and a good job, well done.
Yeah, like you said, that's the perfect way to take a Joker. Or I guess to pass somebody in the Joker. That brings us to our open two-wheel drive results. That was your final. Thielen top honors today in the number 83 in front-wheel drive. It is going to be Hendricks on the podium as well in the 404, and Chris Van Holst going to hold on for that third spot on the podium in the number 22. So open two-wheel drive is now done for the day. We're going to move on to CrossCar Jr. next, as we're starting to get our cross cars on the grid. CrossCar Jr. been quite eventful so far today. Some of the young up-and-coming stars of Rallycross cutting their teeth here. As it looks like our grid is going to be Huka and Clausen on the front row, Tovio and Antilla, and we're going to have Van Glabik and Romakers there, rounding out your 6-car field on the back of row number 3. There's some strong contenders here that are not on the front row. That's what's interesting about this, and I love these finals because you've got some really fast drivers who now, mid-pack towards the back, they're going to have to find their way to the front and figure out how to do it in just a handful of laps.
Who's your money on from what you've seen today so far?
Huka's been strong.
Yeah.
I mean, Huka's been strong. Clausen's been great too, but I think if I had to put my money down, it'd be on Huka.
And Pole is strong here, isn't it, if you can get a good start. But let's see. We talked last night about the grip levels changing across the grid, and actually it seems to be working for the, I think that rubber laid down on the front row is actually helping the front row sitters at the moment.
That's a good point. We got the flag of the Netherlands being waved, and we're going to go green flag racing here. This is going to be your main event. CrossCar Jr., the final.
What a brilliant start from Clausen from the second spot on the grid. Just got it absolutely hooked up to take the lead. Huka has a look to the outside, on and off the brakes, the nose of the car jumping up and down. And Thielen looking for a way through as well. On Tovio.
Remarkable start, though, for Pim Clausen. I mean, Huka, I don't know what happened there. Just
Huka applying the pressure to the back of Clausen. 2 to the Joker for the first time of asking. Let's have a look up front.
That's going to be Romakers and Van Glabik, I believe, taking the Joker. Could be wrong.
I'd say from the attitude of Huka's car, he's at risk of overdriving here, really hassling Clausen in some of the long corners, certainly on the loose there towards the end of the lap. Then losing out a little bit. You've got to keep your head in these situations, haven't you, and wait for your opportunity. And that's while I was crediting the junior drivers earlier on in our qualifying show about their spatial awareness. Huka looks to the inside, down into the hairpin. Oh, and Huka's spun. He's got collected. It's a 3-way pile-up in the hairpin.
And we're going to have a different podium than we expected here.
This has been, oh, Shane Clarkson didn't know that, could have jokered and got out of the traffic, but the two that jokered early on, Rallyx and Van Glabbeek, have massively gained here, haven't they, by getting around the three that were stuck together.
And as you'd said, no spotter, so there's no way to radio into the driver and let them know that there has been an incident.
Also too close, I think. It was those sorts of things happen so quickly, as you know. It's tricky. They've all got going again. There is Antila, who is now running 5th on the road. Yes, but without a joker, so Antila's out of this. Clarkson has a 6-second lead at the end of that lap, and I would say has to joker this time around. Yes, does indeed joker this time around. Yes, there's 3 laps to go, but you want to get it done, get back out in front, just so you can take the pressure off of knowing that if something does happen, you don't have to take a route that's different to everybody else.
All right, so current running order is Pim Clausen in the lead. It is Rallyx and Van Glabbeek in the 2nd and 3rd spots. So podium drastically different than we would have expected thus far in the race after that big incident earlier. Big credit to Rallyx and Van Glabbeek for getting through clean.
It was a bit clumsy, wasn't it, in the opening laps, but they look at Clarkson working away behind the wheel. The steering wheel's huge compared to the young drivers, isn't it, really? But he's soaring away at the wheel. It's all about maintaining minimum speed in these cars.
Oh, another spin.
Hukas round again. That's a weird place to have spun. I wonder if there's been contact there or if Hukas dropped it. We'll get a good idea from the body language if we see Hukas get out of the car.
I wonder if it was that transition from the tarmac to the gravel right there where he spun.
Into the last lap for the race leader. The lead gap is down to just under 5 seconds, but fastest lap of the race so far last time around. Clarkson is really enjoying leading out front in this one at his home circuit. We're about to see Pim's father drive in just a few moments in the open four-wheel drive Pro-Am final, but Pim Clarkson, who made his debut in junior CrossCar last year here in the Rallyx Valkenswaard event, has delivered massively here under all the pressure of driving at home. What a brilliant job.
As it is going to be with top honors, Pim Clarkson at the checker flag. a little celebratory slide there, it looks like. Rallyx is going to take home the 2nd spot on the podium, and Van Glabbeek in the number 54 going to bring home the 3rd and final podium spot.
Well, when I asked you for a prediction pre-race, I didn't honestly expect that the 3 Finnish drivers would be the 3 at the bottom of the order come the end. So shows what I know. It shows just how random this sport can be, and as we were talking earlier on about the potential drama in the finals, that's a good example. It's just never over until it's over. Brilliant start from Clarkson to get things underway, though.
Yeah, Clarkson just, and to Clarkson's credit, that's probably why ended up winning, is because it avoided the chaos that we see here.
I said early on, didn't I, that Hukas needed to keep his head and just focus on shadowing. This must be lap 2, I think, and this is into lap 3. I forget which lap the spin was on, but Hukas just dropped it.
There it is right there.
You do need to keep it. It's so easy to say from up here, and I'm not criticising anybody, but it's what you see with your Kevin Ericssons and your Nicholas Gronholms and your Oliver Ericssons is just that relentless composure when you're following to not do anything rash. Yeah, well, Hukas had quite a big incident there actually, gone wide into the gravel on the outside.
So we're being joined in the booth here by none other than Oliver Ericsson. I feel like we need to get a mic out.
We have got a headset.
We've got a headset there. I think we need to get a headset put on Oliver here. Just so you know, you're going to be working for free here, though.
He's used to that.
Yeah, he's used to that. He's an Ericsson.
Let me, this may be beyond my technicalities, but let's have a...
I think we turn him up here.
It looks a bit like that he is waiting over there, but it could be another car too. So
looks like we got an in-broke, so you're just going to have to hear us.
Barbel Rometena, first row, second row, Marvin Clausen from the Netherlands. And
yeah, you can talk through the microphone. You have to hear us there. Yeah, we got Oliver Ericsson in the booth here. Oh, tell us about that. You had a great run there.
Adam Ehrman, who has the free space in front of him, and also Tobias Dahlberg. It looks quite well for them to overtake the whole first 2 rows. We will see in a second.
Robert Cerner on the front row of the Open 4-wheel drive Pro-Am final. Bart Bell on pole, Robert Cerner second. Klaassen third on the grid, having just watched his son take junior cross-car victory. And Tobias Dahlberg, who's had a pretty difficult first day in the headline category, makes up the final row of the grid.
All right, looks like we're a few seconds away from going green. Bell going to be pole sitter here.
Any idea why we're missing Nason or Oman?
Don't know. Oman is there.
Oh yes, hiding behind the...
yeah, can't really tell you why. I haven't been over there yet, but...
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, great input, right? That's what I'm here for. You should know that stuff.
I'm here, mate.
Oh, well. Yeah.
But while we're waiting, I know Jim just asked you about it, that you looked so on top of the car in that last run. Sometimes you see a driver who's really in the groove, and it just looked like you were really enjoying driving.
Yeah, for sure, and of course it's the first time out with the new damper updates and everything that's been on over the winter, and they're on rails now. Obviously we were fighting hard with supercars last year, winning races and stuff, but yeah, the car is much more improved this year, I'd say. We race, the lap times are much quicker than we were last year. Everything feels greater in the car, and it was a good off-season for the FC2.
All right, so we're going to be looking for the green flag. Mark Bell and Robert Cerna on the front. Looks like Bell going to get the best of Cerna into turn number 1. Oh, look, all the way on the outside.
Dahlberg, great start. Cerna's had contact with Klaassen, gets a bit turned sideways. Klaassen still having a moment in the background. Bell still leads. Dahlberg is all over the back of the Ford Focus supercar. Cerna up the inside of Oman, just covering that position, having lost out early on.
Oh, look at the damage there.
Klaassen with the nose of the car up across the windscreen. Shame for him. Oman into the Joker this time around. 4-wheel drive debut. And a difficult track, isn't it, here, I would say, at Valkenswaard to drive a 4-wheel drive car for the first time. It's all pretty tight. It comes up on you really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. There's something happening all the time, you know. You have no time to rest. Obviously, the car is, I think, the second oldest rallycross track in the world. So, for sure, the cars are going quicker through the years. And yeah, it's a lot happening, and for me, it's a lot of fun. I love this place.
I feel like there's a lot. It's technical, and it's very slippery. It's not, especially the tarmac sections. You guys are still drifting a lot.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and what I love about old school rallycross tracks is you always have the gravel leading up to the asphalt sections.
Oh, side-by-side contact there between Cerna and Dahlberg at the Joker merge. Cerna's just lost out. Cerna and Oman, sorry. Oman's got around the outside. Cerna drops down to 4th. Bart Bell needs to get the hammer down on his top flight supercar debut. You can hear people shouting on the roof of the truck here in the OMSE awning. Dahlberg on a big push. It could be the Dahlberg family, actually. Dahlberg on a big push. I would say Bell has to respond now, otherwise the gap's just going to start getting eaten up and eaten up.
And he does. He takes the Joker, so we're going to see how this plays out. It's going to be close here. Dahlberg, not enough. Bell, great use of the Joker, stays out front, clears the gap. Now Dahlberg's going to have to do it the hard way.
Dahlberg, super experienced rallycross driver though, in CrossCar, did great things in Supercar Lights the last couple of years. Has been quick today as well. He's absolutely not afraid of throwing this car around. Did a 38.6 last time around. Best lap for Bell is a 39.1, so Dahlberg has the pace. It's whether in these final 2 laps he can find an opportunity.
All right, so Oliver, putting you on the spot. If you're Dahlberg in the second spot, where are you going to try and make your pass at?
Yeah, so the thing here in Valkenswaard is you have to set up very early, like a couple corners before. You have to set up your move to get them in front of you out of rhythm, because obviously all the insides are a big edge, so you can't really cut anywhere, do a little something different. So you have to set it up, get them out of their groove, and to get your nose in on the right spot. So probably I would start somewhere here, show him you're there, give him a little love tap, and then set it up
there was a tap.
There was a tap. Here we go. And then, but there he lost out. Here he needs to be closer so we can set up the move going into here. But we see Bell protecting hard inside, so let's see if we can do a crossover here.
And while you're for sure in the FC2 camp, because that's your baby, that's what you've been developing for so long, for Bart Bell. He's such a big part of bringing Rallyx to the Euro circuit. It'd be wonderful for him to get the job done in this final corner and win at home.
Yeah, for sure. And we see here he seems to pull it off. So
It's going to be to the line there. The number 67 of Bart Bell going to take home the victory. It is going to be Darbic in the second spot and Oman in the third spot, or Oman in the third spot.
Great job from Bart Bell, and nice reward for the Dutchman after the effort he puts into getting Rallyx to the Euro circuit. The whole club here puts in a huge effort to put on the event. Nice for him to enjoy driving the car and get some silverware at the end as well. Darbak's been quick today, and I'm sure he'll be even quicker tomorrow. Missed out on most of practice with a gearbox issue they had this morning, so he's done really well to be as fast as he was, Clarkson, with a lot of damage to the front of the car there. But the good thing about these cars is they're so modular. That's largely superficial ollie, and it'll be fixed for tomorrow, I'm sure.
yeah, for sure. It's a 50-minute job that. So no worries.
So you're going to be on the front row for the final. What's the strategy here?
Take the start and win. But it's never that easy in rallycross. So we see. I mean, Niklas is next to me up in the front row. He's been super consistent, you know, starts and everything. I think I outpaced him a bit on track, but his starts have been more consistent than mine. So I got a good one this last one. So I try to do that, fend him off, and try to go away with it.
I think we were talking, Hal and I, the most exciting thing for me to watch you guys, and your brother and Nicholas had a great race, but they trust each other. There's a lot of respect. So you're running each other hard, but it's not dirty, and you guys are just drifting through the corners, and that's got to be exciting for you to be able to trust the guys that you're racing against.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what we're here for. You know, we want to race hard and fair. You know, we don't want super expensive damage on the cars either, so we can keep racing, and that's what Rallyx is about. We have Nittis up in the tower, try to reinforce that we stay humble and we stay, you know, within the margins of respect. I think respect is a big word that we lost out in rallycross generally. So yeah, generally it's been too much damage in every series I've been to, which made the cost go. So we try to bring it back to what we think is a good thing, and you know, with less damage, more people can race, and so on and so on. And I think it just helps everyone. And it's much more fun to race someone you respect and has respect to you. Like the racing gets, super gnarly.
Well, and I think.
But okay, let's switch that round a bit. Last lap of the final, you're side by side with Kevin at the Joker merge.
I left him off, yeah.
Alvspin 2024 style.
Yeah. I wouldn't say anything. He always keep coming back. I can't ever win that one.
But I have to agree with Jim. Like the racing between Kevin and Nicholas and yourself has been brilliant today, because there's so little margin. But it's also a rarity, isn't it? Driving with someone experienced enough. So yes, you can trust somebody, but they've got to be experienced enough to put the car in the right place as well. So
yeah, 100%.
That must be a pleasure.
I see with Kevin, he tried always 3 times now to get by Niklas, but he just can't. You know, he's right on his bumper, but he don't find a way through, and that's what you get with experience and world-class driver as Niklas.
All right, looks like we're getting ready to go green here with CrossCar. We got Eek Merstad on the pole position. Great effort by him thus far today. Van Hoof, Tree, Isak Setra there in the mix as well. We've got Vlasic and Huka rounding out our 6.
Great start from Eek Merstad. Look at him moving the car around already into the opening corner. Van Hoof piling the pressure on to the rear of the speed car wonder. Van Hoof would love to add to this list of local winners that we've had so far already this afternoon.
Van Hoof, a great line there. The outside-inside move very far on the outside and tried to dive in. Really made up some ground.
Rikke Hukar losing out just like his brother there in the turn 3 hairpin.
All right, so we've got 1 corner remaining here on this first opening lap. And it is Eek Merstad, like he was in the previous race in the semifinal, out front and just putting down some burner laps. Van Hoof in the second spot, Tree in the third spot. All top 4 of our drivers yet to take their Joker.
Merstad absolutely flying, nearly a second ahead, as you say, at the front of the order. Van Hoof has been fast today as well. Did a great job in the semis earlier on. Oh no, Merstad's dropped it from the front of the field. Thomas Eek Merstad, with all that confidence and all that car control, gets going again just ahead of Vlasak, but that is a massive mistake from Thomas Eek Merstad from the prime position in this race. What a shame for the Norwegian.
The unfortunate part, yet to take the Joker, so he's going to cycle all the way to the back, still have to take the Joker. The two drivers in front of him have already taken the Joker. This is just catastrophic for Eek Merstad today.
But if ever there's something to watch, it's a CrossCar driver driving livid in a speed car wonder, because they are quite a show, these top-level CrossCar drivers. Van Hoof, though, did everything right there, and that's exactly what we were talking about in the junior CrossCar final early on. Just keep applying the pressure, keep your head, because you can force people into mistakes, and that's exactly what happened. Even someone as experienced as Thomas Eek Merstad.
And right now, Van Hoof flying out there, Tree in the second spot. Really using up every bit of this course is the number 3 of Van Hoof. The line choice is something different. We haven't seen that. Really just laying down some laps.
Van Hoof into the Joker. Tree's going to be on the inside here. Not going to be enough for the JC Race Technic driver, who won a few times last year and is now right on the back of the race leader. A couple of days testing in Essering in Germany this week will really have helped Tree get in the groove, and he is right on the tail with a single lap to go here at the Euro Circuit.
We got lots of pressure being applied by Tree to Van Hoof.
Like Ollie Eriksson said, there's no real route through on the inside. Tree already moving to the outside, going to carry the momentum through turn 2, looks to the inside into 3, he's going to go for it. Tree on the brakes, small contact, gets the job done. What a move from Vettel Tree.
Beautiful pass there by Tree, through one of the tightest corners on this circuit to take away the lead with only a handful of corners remaining. Van Hoof going to have to settle for second today. Wow, textbook. And as Oliver had said, you set it up a couple corners early. He did that to perfection out here at the Euro Circuit.
What a drive from Vettel Tree to take the first victory of the season in the cross-car category. And there is another Norwegian at the back of the pack. Thomas Eek Merstad will be ruining that minor error. This is early on in the race. Look at Van Hoof's car hopping around. Tree did just the right thing there, just kept plugging away, There's Eek Merstad, just got a wheel out on the dirt on the outside and dropped it, then went to drive back straight again and just got stuck against the wall. Lost a bit of time.
Heartbreaking, that's all you can say. And you know, go back into the paddock and all you can do is blame yourself, which is unfortunate. And look at this beautiful pass for the lead there by Vettel Tree, just through the inside of that very sharp corner.
Great job from Tree, and brilliant way to open the campaign for the JC driver. Was playing it down pre-season, but really has got to be a title contender this year after the pace he showed last season.
Well, that was definitely a statement win there for Vettel Tree. Going to take top honors and the top of the podium. As we are moving forward here, we've got Supercar Lights. This is going to be the final. Up front, it is going to be Vittels and Ottink. We've got Larson and Lindquist, and then we've got Darvik and JVD Van Dassler there in the final spot in number 6. JVD making an interesting charge in that semifinal, so we're going to see if can do the same from the 6th spot. Right now, Vittels up front. Going to get a little pressure there from Ottink.
Solid start from Vittels. Larsen looking to the inside, had contact with Ottink, sends Ottink sideways. Oh, chaos.
3 or 4 cars kind of bumping into each other. No damage really to any of the cars.
Larsen's lost out badly there. This is massively played into the hands of Vittels, who sends it through turn 3. You need to see whether Larsen got going again or not, but that's a big shame for Nathan Ottink after all the hard work was done. Darvak carrying damage on the front of the car. It's JVD into the Joker for the first time of asking, is it?
It's a Vittels out front through the chicane. Big gap over second now, Darvik. After that incident earlier that collected 3 or 4 of the cars. You wonder if now Vittels may take the Joker earlier in the race than expected, just because there is a massive gap back to second.
For sure you'd be tempted, wouldn't you, just to get it done and out the way and maintain that track position that's oh so important. The Team Farron squad so experienced, and yeah, in Roberts goes.
I think that was a very wise choice. Had the field cleared. Second and third, Darvik and Lindquist all need to take their Joker yet, so that's not a good position for them to be in when the leader has already taken his Joker. Now the battle going to be for that second spot with Darvik and Lindquist, with Vittels with a commanding lead over the rest of the field.
Lights cars scattered everywhere. There is Lindquist in the background. JVD is just outside the window. Oh, definitely outside the window now.
JVD looked like it spun around, was going backwards on the track there for a moment.
Made a mistake, I think. Is that in the yellows? I'm not sure, in the first corner. Lindqvist through the Joker to maintain third. This is a great job for Lindqvist on Supercar Lights debut, having stepped up from CrossCar for this season.
Well, going into this last lap, Vittel's big lead, already taking the Joker. The one to watch is going to be Darvik. Does he have enough time on Lindqvist to clear him as he has to take the Joker? Excuse me, we've got 2 to go.
Darvik, and look how clean the inside is there, Jim, now through that corner, and that's why running wide is just so
there comes Darvik
critical.
Through the Joker.
Lindqvist going to be close here, but not close enough, I don't think. Carries good momentum on the standard lap. Darvik's got it covered.
As you were saying, though, that corner is cleared out. It's almost like it's getting down to what we talked about, blue groove at a point. You see that sheen, that shine on that corner.
Yeah, it's almost just tarmac underneath, I think, or concrete where it's cleaned the loose away. Quite often, modern rallycross tracks have that, in that you don't want to be digging out the loose gravel too deep when it's super wet conditions.
All right, so we're going to get a move here. This is going to be Lindqvist trying to get around Darvik. Nothing there, putting a lot of pressure here on this final lap. Going to come through into these final couple of corners. Try and set something up for that final corner. We have seen some passing there today, as Vittel's going to take home the victory. It's going to be Darvik with the second spot. Lindqvist going to settle for that third and final podium spot. He's got to be very happy about that.
Absolutely, but perfect start to the season for Robert Vittels. Darvik, great salvage job actually. Really struggled when the first heat we joined this morning in Q2 was fighting a few issues. Had that gearbox problem this morning that the team worked so hard to fix. So second position, of course the points are important. This is the first corner incident. Ottink and Larsen coming together. Lindqvist threaded the needle to get between them.
Black flag
Car number 25 has a black flag. That's Larsen. Brainus Nittis tells me in my ears, so that'll be because of eliminating Ottink. Shame for Larsen, because been really good today. Solid pace, good starts. But Robert Vittels, using all of his experience, he's won British Championship events at Supercar level, he's won in Supercar Lights, he's won at RX2E level in the World Championship. He's super experienced and using all of that to good use today to come home with a victory.
That was our Supercar Lights final. Vittels, Darvik, and Lindqvist, your top 3. Going to be on the podium here later on this evening. All right, so working our way through these classes. We got 2 yet remaining, 2 big ones. Open 2-wheel drive as well as open 4-wheel drive. So we're going to get some of these cars cleaned up here.
Because it's always the real, absolute, brilliant, strong rally cars which are everybody expecting from all the races here, and I'm sure they're really looking forward to that one. We're going to make it back. Reginald, I'll say fast is good. Okay, then I'll say Victor. It needs to be a bit of a challenge. Dus we zijn benieuwd op de eerste stijl. Jorik Meijlings aan de binnenkant. Victor Johansson in die originele Mercedes 190 Evo. Hybrид, dus aanhalingstekens. Wie op de beste start gaat nemen. Martin, die heeft voor Jorik gekozen. Oké, dan pik ik Victor. We zullen wel zien wie dat er dan heeft. En wie weet, misschien zijn het de heren van de tweede startrij. Christen of Bex of Steve Volders, die iedereen gaan verrassen, ons in Kluis. En op de derde startrij niet te onderschatten, Roel Verhoeven en Arjanne van Lommel. Dat wordt natuurlijk super spectaculair met die open two-wheel drives. En denk eraan, dames en heren, zowel op de social media van Rallyx, op de Facebookpagina, op de Instagrampagina, zijn er mooie beelden, mooie samenvattingen, mooie interviews. En ook op onze eigen website, op onze eigen social media, op Eurocircuit van onze rallycrossvereniging, staan er mooie nieuwsjes, mooie prenten en zeer interessante informatie. Dit gezegd zijnde, wordt het circuit, wordt de race vrijgemaakt. De laatste wordt van de race getrokken, gaat nu de joker-sectie verlaten. En de wedstrijdwagen, safety car, is er achteraan. We gaan we zo dadelijk kunnen doorstarten naar de
two-wheel drive finals vandaag in hier Rallyx.
All right, we are gridding up for open two-wheel drive final, and this is some heavy hitters, some of the best in the world here in open two-wheel drive. Manix on the pole, Johansson, one of the favorites as well, outside of that front row. We've got Bex and Volders. Bex had a great run so far this weekend. Verhoeven and Van Lommel going to round out our 6-car field here. This is your final for open two-wheel drive. We're moments away. Got the Netherlands flag flying. Be watching that battle in the front row, Manix and Johansson. I'm also looking at Bex on the inside of row number 3. Had some phenomenal starts so far today. Look at that, Bex with that great start I was talking about from the second row.
A lot of respect in the first corner. Victor Johansson has gone away from this battle. It opens up on the inside. That's Volders getting forced wide on the exit. Manix behind Victor Johansson at the moment. Bex has closed up onto the rear of that leading trio, but Johansson has just been absolutely nailing the starts, and we can talk about it more as we go through the weekend and the season, but the way he's got the electric powertrain set up in that big Mercedes really helps him off the start line with that linear power delivery.
All right, so through lap number 1, it is Johansson, Manix, and Bex, your top 3. And they are in a breakaway pack. Got a battle back there for the 4th spot, but your top 3 all fighting for the podium. None of them have taken a joker yet. I can see Bex pulling the trigger early. So he's putting a lot of pressure there on Manix.
Manix joker. Oh, and Bex goes with Manix. That's not ideal at all for Bex in the background. He did that earlier on as well, didn't he, on Volders in the semi-final.
Look at that, the number 77 lifting the wheel, Volders around that corner. I don't know if you saw that, but it was that nice 3-wheel.
Volders, meanwhile, was already on the back of those 2 as well. So the right call, I think, for one of them to have joker to maintain their track position. But really, this has fallen into the hands of Johansson, who I would say needs to joker next time around, Jim.
Yeah, I would agree. He's got the field covered, I believe. I'd be looking for him to set it up.
Fastest lap of the race last time around on a 39.5. He's got a 3.2 second margin. Look at the attitude of the car. Yes, he's going into the joker.
We're going to see if he's got the field covered. So Victor Johansson there remains in the lead. Right now the battle here for the 2nd spot, Manix and Bex. Bex starting to apply a lot of pressure looking to the inside.
We saw that great move from Bex earlier on as well, didn't we? We're into the chicane right here, but Manix is way too quick to allow that to happen. Also very wily in the mean machine. The top 3 are so close here. It's going to take a tiny mistake from one of them and things could get mixed up very quickly.
So transitioning into the gravel portion. Look at that, protecting the inside is Johansson.
Bex was going outside inside there, wasn't he? Carrying the speed on the outside, hoping to get the nose up the inside if Manix ran that bit deep. Such long wheelbase on these 3 cars out front relative to the front-wheel drive machines we saw in the other final earlier on.
And so the white flag's going to come out. We're going to have 1 to go here.
Massive pressure for reigning champion Victor Johansson as Manix clobbers the curb at the exit of the chicane, looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Bex is going to look to the inside and Manix into turn 2, also thinks better of it. There is nothing to choose between these 3 leading drivers.
And look at Bex with the outside-inside once again, nothing there. So we've got Johansson now protecting the inside. Manix worried about his rear-view mirror because Bex is all over the back of him. We got a 1-2-3 battle with 2 corners remaining.
If anything, this has helped Johansson out, hasn't it? But we're having Bex in the background hassling Manix, but Victor Johansson's going to get it done.
And at the line, it is Johansson, Manix, and Bex, 1, 2, and 3. What a great finish here in open two-wheel drive.
Where did Manix end up? He just disappeared.
I think he thought there was one more lap remaining, dove to the right to take the chicane. Now he's coming back going, I didn't realize it was over. Well, let's celebrate.
Great to have some donuts to thank the fans for their appreciation here at the Euro circuit.
Oh, look at the front of that car. Bumpers falling off. How many bumpers have we collected so far today?
Yes, there's usually a few.
Oh, what a great run as we see Victor Johansson with the great start there. Manix, a little hesitation off the start, allowed Victor Johansson to get around. And from there, it's just the way they sat the rest of the race. The battle was towards the mid-pack. Bex putting a lot of pressure on Manix. Ended up taking the joker the same lap, probably the biggest mistake Beck's made all day was following Manix into that Joker.
I really think the pressure that Beck's applied to Manix helped Victor out there, because Manix, like you said so correctly on the final lap, he just had to be wary of the mirrors as well as trying to apply the pressure, and maybe that allowed Victor just a tiny bit of breathing space. But great drive from Victor Hansen, brand new engine for this weekend, and as we chatted about earlier, all those late nights, massive effort with a young baby as well. I know what that's all about. And yeah, they've done a great job to get that car ready, get down all the way down here to the Netherlands and to get the job done.
Little celebratory podium donuts there for Manix, the number 30. Brings us to our results for our open two-wheel drive final. It was Victor Johansson, top honors today. Going to be on top of the podium. Jorg Manix in the second spot. Christoph Becks finishing up in third in the number 78. That is your podium. Volders, Verhoeven, and Van Lommel going to bring him back tomorrow to try and fight for a podium again, but great results for them to make it to the final in this stacked open two-wheel drive field. I mean, almost 20 vehicles deep. All right, that means there is one race left. This is the one you've tuned in all day long for. This is why you're here, tuning in around the globe. I'd like to welcome both our European and our North American visitors here. We are getting ready to go racing in open four-wheel drive. Some of the best drivers in the world on the grid. We have, who's just joining us in the booth, Oliver Eriksson in the pole position. We've got Gronholm in the second spot. We've got Anderson, Kevin Eriksson, Kasper Janssen, and Nason all on the field. 6 laps. Who is going to be taking top honors here at the Euro circuit?
Great start from Niklas Gronholm. As Ollie Eriksson said in the studio earlier on, he's had brilliant reactions today and brilliant launches. Lucas Anderson slots into third through the opening corner, but now this is all about Oliver Eriksson rather than Kevin, as we've seen so much today, applying the pressure to the rear of Niklas Gronholm.
Oh, it looks like a little bump there. Is that Anderson getting inside of Oliver?
Carnage in the background in the hairpin. We haven't seen it. Ollie Eriksson looks to the inside of Niklas Gronholm, no way through. What's happened in the hairpin? Has anyone got stuck there as Ollie Eriksson chases down the Finnish driver? That's Janssen that's been spun at the hairpin. I'm sure something happened in the background. Lucas Anderson, the newcomer to open four-wheel drive, is right there in the battle for the top 3 as well.
Kevin Eriksson in the back trying to get back into this, but right now the battle is up front. It is Gronholm and Eriksson. Oh, Gronholm, big mistake.
Oliver Eriksson ran wide in the first corner. Niklas Gronholm also ran wide that little bit later on. Ollie Eriksson's going to look to the inside of Niklas Gronholm here. Kevin Eriksson is joking in the background. That couldn't. Oh, Ollie Eriksson jokers now, followed by Anderson. Where is Kevin Eriksson on the inside?
Kevin Eriksson not going to have enough.
Oh, Kevin Eriksson's gone round the outside of Anderson. He's wide into the gravel.
Little bump into the side of Kevin Eriksson. Kevin over there trying to get that car back onto the tarmac.
Marcus Gronholm needs to be on his A game in the spotters tower now. He needs to get Niklas into the Joker. I don't think it's enough. 1.8 seconds the gap.
It's going to be close when he pulls the trigger. Right now you've got pressure being applied by Oliver Eriksson. I think he's going to be able to take the lead when you finally get Gronholm take the Joker.
Gronholm's going. I would have stayed another lap. Gronholm's in the Joker this time around. Ollie Eriksson's going to take the lead here at Valkenswaard.
Great bit of racecraft by Oliver Eriksson to take the lead away from Gronholm.
It was a late call as well for Ollie Eriksson. I wonder if that was his decision or if that was a decision of the spotter. Either way, he's under big pressure now from Niklas Gronholm. Gronholm looks to the inside. Gronholm had never driven this car before today. No pre-event test. Lucas Anderson behind is new to top-level rallycross, but had at least done a bit of testing and driven this car in an event before. Ollie Eriksson, this is his baby. He's been the development driver of the FC2 project and really has the most track time of anyone. Gronholm looks to the inside again. There's still a couple of laps to go.
Well, this one's going to be a nail-biter. We got about a lap and a half remaining here. Can Gronholm get around Oliver Eriksson? Oliver Eriksson been almost perfect today out here in Valkenswaard, so we're going to see if there's anything in the tank. I mean, Gronholm really has to have a mistake out of Eriksson, I think, at this point.
And Eriksson is not going to get forced into a mistake. It's also interesting that Ollie was just in the studio with us talking about this respect as he's pulling the margin here. Fastest lap of the race in the background is going to Kasper Janssen on a 37.5. He's driving frustrated, I've absolutely no doubt. Kevin Eriksson, meanwhile, has retired. He may well still be stuck in the gravel. I haven't actually seen on screen, but through the final corner, Ollie Eriksson, what a performance.
Oh, it's a great bit of racecraft to make the pass as Grönholm took the joker. So it is going to be Eriksson, Grönholm, and Anderson at the line. Oliver got to be very excited about that.
So often last year, Ollie Eriksson's day ended in disappointment because there was something that happened out of his control. Made a mistake, got caught in traffic or what have you. This time around, Eriksson has absolutely delivered. Made a good start. Let's have a look back at see if we see some of those incidents that happened. Grönholm again off the line with a brilliant move. Eriksson had Anderson right in the door there in turn 3.
Anderson put a lot of pressure there. And look at Oliver. Had a chance to possibly spin him, didn't. He backed out of it. You got to give Eriksson a lot of credit.
That's the respect thing, isn't it? They're not going to be pushing each other off. And this will be... So look, Grönholm drops the wheel in and gets sucked back into the gravel again. Ollie Eriksson's already dropped the wheel into the outside but got the nose back. Anderson's just there all the time. That was such a late call from Ollie Eriksson to go into the joker.
I think Anderson had already committed to it, and when Eriksson took it, it really kind of stole that opportunity.
And this is Kevin Eriksson trying to go around the outside of Anderson. Just the smallest of touches sends Kevin wide. Shame for Kevin. I really thought that was going to play into Kevin's hand because he'd had the early joker, had the free air, just didn't quite come to him. And this is Ollie Eriksson just getting around the outside of Nicholas Grönholm. Nicholas will be disappointed, but there's always tomorrow, and he's been super quick today without the car experience.
Yeah, I think come tomorrow, he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's not going to be happy, too. I know his drivers, you know, it's one of his friends that took the victory there, but you're going to have a little chip on your shoulder coming into tomorrow. So our final here, an open four-wheel drive, it was Oliver Eriksson with top honors, Nicholas Grönholm with the second spot on the podium, and Lucas Anderson hanging on for that third and final podium spot in the number 99. What a way to end things today here at Euro Circuit and Valkenswaard. Great bit of racing here in open four-wheel drive. And if that's any indication from today, what we're going to see tomorrow, I mean, the stage is set for an amazing day of racing.
Yeah, and tomorrow they don't need the cars to go again. I'm not suggesting they're going to end up having a bigger war, but you've always got that in the back of your mind. There's always tomorrow. You know, you lift out of the gap because you think, oh, we've got another one tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's all done for a couple of weeks, isn't it? So, yeah, the ante just goes up that little bit more.
Yeah, and I just really, it's been a remarkable day. You know, open two-wheel drive. I mean, going down to the final, we had 3 cars just absolutely battling. You start looking at CrossCar Jr. I mean, top to bottom, it has just been elite level racing.
What's been your highlight? Your first day of Rallyx competition, your first day of motorsport here in Europe. What's been your takeaway?
My takeaway is just the level of competition, and it's not just in open four-wheel drive. I mean, every single class, the racing has been so close down to the wire, and I think that's it. My takeaway is just the level of competition we're seeing here in Rallyx in every single division is just it's amazing.
And an old-school rallycross venue like this, it's I guess pretty different to what you see back home. What have you made of Valkenswaard?
It's beautiful. I mean, for those of you that are following along with Rallyx, obviously, I said comparable today earlier on social media. Valkenswaard and this Euro circuit reminds me a lot of Crandon back home. And they're both about 55 years old, both very historic venues. I saw the fans on the grass hills and things like that. So I think there's a lot of parallels from this. And Crandon is one of the most iconic off-road venues in the United States. So it's got me excited for a lot of the racers to cross over the pond, come race in the United States and Canada, and see later on, we're hearing a little rumors we might have some American drivers coming across here to race the European side of Rallyx, so that's got me excited as well.
And before all of that, we've got round 2 of Rallyx 2026 taking place here at the Euro Circuit tomorrow. Jim, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, same venue, to do it all again. Thank you.